Before we start, just want to, express, that my heart goes out to Elijah, um, the player that got hurt, Elijah Riley. It's tough playing in this league, and I would say I care more about the guys, who they are as people out there on the field, whereas they are as football players. But just wanted to say that before we get started.
We'll start with questions from David.
Hey, Tua, thank you for that. That was a thoughtful statement. First, what was working on the ground game for you guys? What did you feel that you guys were able to find against the Jets and with Duke Johnson having the effectiveness yet?
I think the O-line did a great job today up front, with creating, those opportunities for Duke to find the hole and hit it and, find ways to bounce the ball and, have Duke be himself running the ball. That's how he was his entire career playing in the NFL. And, I'm glad that we were able to witness that today.
Al?
Tua, I wanted to ask you your satisfaction of the disappointment of throwing the pick six, and yet you were able to help the team come back right away and get the winning touchdown to Devontae. Can you describe that kind of ride of emotions you went through?
Yeah, terrible decision on my part, obviously, with the pick six, but you got to move on. The game's not over. We got to go down and we got to put some points on the board, and that's what we did. So, you never want that to happen, but it does happen, and so just got to move on from it. And I'm glad we were able to overcome it. Not just offensively, but as a team. It started the first half and it really trickled all the way into the second half.
Thanks.
Cunha?
Tua, it looks like you channeled your inner Duke Johnson on one play and run up the middle. Can you walk us through that play where you ran over a defender?
Yeah, just remind me not to ever do that again. Much respect to number 30, Carter. He's a hell of a player. I obviously don't think that he was expecting me to lower my shoulder and try to run him over. Just from the previous runs I had, I either slid or, try to get out of bounds. But yeah, it was just a in the moment thing for me, and it's really all it was.
Daniel?
Hey, Tua, with Jalen being out, what changes, if any, you guys have to make to the offense? Obviously, you guys kind of struggled on the early game. What kind of clicked that wasn't clicking?
I couldn't really hear your question, but I heard Jalen. Even if Jalen's, out, I think the approach that we all took with him being out is next man up, and we got to continue to prepare. Jalen doesn't win us the games. He obviously is a help with us to win games, but I think all the guys that were out there, they put in a lot of hard work, and I think they did a great job, with primary blocking, whether it's in the run game or, responsibilities in the pass game. I think they all did a great job.
I'm not sure if you can hear me a little better now, but what was clicking later on that maybe wasn't working the first couple of drives?
Yeah, I think it was just adjustments in the second half for us. We just started to look at our matchups more. And then obviously with their coverages, they mixed in some man coverages on second and long. So, we were kind of prepared for that if that ever occurred. But more often than not, they played quarters. Sometimes they'd play six. And really we just try to run the ball and block primary and have their secondary guys make tackles.
Joe?
Hey, Tua, with the team having climbed from a 1-7 start to now a 7-7 record, what do you think are some of the biggest factors that have enabled that dramatic change to occur?
I'm just being around the guys. I really think it's it's just the communication, just guys being in the building when, you know, we have off days, guys wanting to work, stay back extra. You know, I think all those play factors into our success on the field. So.
Thank you.
Omar?
Tua, how effective can this RPO offense be when that run game is working? And do you feel like this is something that you guys can build off?
Yeah, I definitely think it's very effective, and I think it, you know, it's something that we can build off. It has been something we've been trying to build off. You know, from the Ravens game to the time we played the Jets the first time, and so on. So I do think that this is something that we can build off on, but you know, I think there's also areas within our RPO game that we can get better with. More so with me in the decision making.
All right, two more, Donovan and then Ruthie.
Hey, Tua, what's going on, bro? So Christian Wilkins probably did everything imaginable after his touchdown. I mean, jumped into the stands, hit the worm, even did some breakdancing. Just talk about, you know, getting that guy more into the end zone more often so we could see more of that stuff. Because that was a lot of fun for, I guess, for fans and you guys as well.
Yeah, you know, I wouldn't say I'm not the offense coordinator, and that I don't have a say in it. But I think now that we put that on tape, guys are gonna, you know, start to kind of game plan that maybe. You know, I don't know. I think it's tough to run a lineman out again after after him scoring once. So maybe next time we punch the ball in, or we'll game plan a gadget. But I think that was awesome. That was cool to see him score. I think that was the first time I threw a defensive lineman or a lineman a touchdown in my career.
You talk about his celebration.
Yeah, I only seen when he was trying to do the spin-a-rooney on the ground. After that, I just turned around and went back to the sideline.
All right, last question, Ruthie.
So I was going to ask you about Christian, but instead I'll ask you about just Duke Johnson specifically, to have that performance, you know, in front of his hometown on the, you know, field that he played college football on. Just how cool is that as his teammate to see that kind of performance?
I mean, it's very cool. Me and Duke actually live in the same estate, which is even cooler. And I didn't even know that until he brought it up for Thanksgiving. But yeah, I think it's super cool, especially with the crowd. I think I heard the crowd saying Duke, you know, with a loud Duke. So I thought that was pretty cool. And, you know, I know he enjoyed it, but you know, just knowing the person that he is, he's very, you know, grateful for the guys out there as far as the linemen and whatnot. So I'm happy for him.